Is that me? Mike Holohan is with me. We've gone Christian mad today, but it's quite by accident. Mike Holohan from the Christian Centre. You're very, very welcome indeed. It's nice to see you.
Thanks very much.
And you're here because we're talking about your food bank. And the commencement of it is really tomorrow when you do your first lift of food to bring to the Christian Centre on Edward Street. And first of all, maybe you would tell people how you perceived there to be a need for a food bank.
Well, what happened was a few years ago we decided to do food parcels at Christmas, and we went into some of the local housing estates, and we just knocked on people's doors and got to meet people. But we went to this particular lady's house, and when we went in, she was sitting in the dark with 3 kids. And they were sitting around these little tea lights. They had them on the middle of the table, and they were getting their heat and their light from this tea light. And this was on a Friday evening. And she basically said that they had nothing. They couldn't afford electricity and they couldn't afford to buy food. And so it prompted us, excuse me, to look further and see how we could help in this area. And I went and looked at some of the statistics for people that are on the poverty line, and I discovered that there's 6,000 children in Newry that are on or below the poverty line. So we decided we'd do something about it, and we will come up with this food bank idea.
Yeah. And practically, where will you get the food?
The food is actually donated very kindly by the public. Tomorrow, case in point, we will go into Tesco's from early morning, probably about 9 o'clock, and we will be there maybe 9 to 9 or 9 till 10. And what we will do is we'll just engage the public. This is Newry people working to help Newry people. And so all the food that's collected locally will be given to local people. I just want to stress that. But what we will do is we have actually a wee shopping list. I don't have the shopping list with me, but it's on the inside of this brochure. And basically we'll hand people a shopping list, and we'll ask them if they're able to buy something from this list that they might be able to donate. So you can see the list there, milk, which is powdered, sugar, fruit juice, packets of soup, pasta sauce, tinned tomatoes, cereal, tea bags, instant mash, rice or pasta, tinned meat or fish, tinned vegetables, tinned fruit, jam, biscuits or snack bars.
I'm going to take this with me, and people should. You know, God is good.
Absolutely.
There's no two ways about
Absolutely.
it. Here speaketh the optimistic agnostic Rowan Hand. God is good, and this is what you're doing is huge. This makes sense to me. Yeah. This gives expression to love your neighbour.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so many Christians, they go in and they kiss the altar rail, so to speak, on the Sunday, and then do nothing on the Monday.
Yeah.
And you're trying to change that.
But it was like we shared the last day. We talked about when Jesus, we call it the feeding of the 5,000, and we talked about there was 5,000 men besides women and children, so probably 15,000 people. But he broke the bread and gave it to his disciples, and he said, "You go and feed them." And it's the disciples of Jesus are the ones who are supposed to be feeding.
Yeah. I don't go well on miracles, I have to tell you, because it offends my intellect. But I go big on love. Yeah. That's where I am. And I remember my mother was dying, and the surgeon said to me, "You may pray for a miracle, Rowan, if that's what you wish to do." But I've been 25 years a surgeon, and I haven't seen a miracle yet. But then, of course, you hear other stories, and other people bring their experiences. But for me, this is the Good Samaritan story and the command to love God and your neighbour, all wrapped up into one.
That's right.
This is what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then when you get the food, this will be food that will be non-perishable. You'll bring it over to the Christian Centre. How will you distribute it?
Well, we've actually got a warehouse. We'll bring it to the warehouse, and what we will do is on the mornings that the food bank is open, we'll bring it to the Christian Centre and we'll distribute it from there. Let me just say a few things about that. The first thing is anybody who uses our food bank, well, firstly, all our volunteers will have to sign a confidentially non-disclosure agreement that they will never ever talk about anybody who comes through the door. So that's the first thing. And then when people come through our door, they will be treated nicely, they will be treated courteously. We'll sit and engage them in conversation, offer them a cup of tea and a biscuit, and we'll talk to them while their food is being prepared and see if we can't help them in other areas and other arenas.
I remember, and I know where you're coming from, because this is difficult when you're giving out largesse to folk. You can land yourself in a difficulty. A few years ago, I remember, a few years now, I got a trailer full of coal, of bags of coal. I got 20 bottles of, what do they call that stuff? Harvey's Bristol Cream, and 20 boxes of after-dinner mints, and put them all on the thing, and went round. I got names from the St. Vincent de Paul and the Salvation Army, and I went round with a friend, knocking on the door at Christmas. You know, this is a present for you, hope you like it, blah, blah, blah. Knocked this door, and this doyen of the community came out, this gentleman who was visiting his mother, and we had been given the mother's name as a person in very, very great need. So I had to think very, very swiftly on my feet. Hello, John, how are you? The community, this is the community outreach of which your mum's a part, and she helped you, there you are. So we got out of it that way. But people need to be assured that no embarrassment attaches to this. When you're sitting at home with nothing, then just open yourself up, have the courage to open yourself up to the prayer of actually saying, I am here, I need, please. And that in itself is a prayer.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing about it is people can find themselves in difficulties for all different kinds of reasons, and maybe an unexpected bill comes in.
Yeah.
And you think to yourself, right, am I going to pay this bill? Yeah. Which I need to do. Maybe it's your mortgage, I'll be put out of my house, or I'm going to buy food or something. And you know, we find ourselves in situations sometimes, and they're not common occurrences. And so even people like that, you know, we'd love to engage them and help them and be part of the solution.
I suspect that the easy part of this is going to be getting the food.
Yeah.
The difficult part of it is encouraging folk who need the food out there to chill and to be confident and to make the approach.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that approach can start tomorrow at Tesco's.
At Tesco's.
What time are you? All day?
There all day.
I shall see you there after lunchtime tomorrow.
Look forward to it.
Go well.
Thanks very much.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Take care.
Thanks very much.
Or as I say, God bless you if there is a God.
I'll leave some of those there with
you. Yes, do please.